approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? We're all cozy, we're all comfortable. We decided me and G were going to sit next to each other, and Reese is still joining with us. Courtney can't make it today. She had prior commitments. So, yeah, but we're going to still give you a top tier episode, hence the pun in the name, because we are going to do a tier list.
Oh, well done. Well done.
You guys have asked us some questions, so we're going to answer all your burning questions that you guys have, because we've really shot up in numbers, so we thought we'd give back to the fans and let you guys ask us some questions.
I think you've been taking some tips from Reese with those puns.
I know you did well there, man.
Puns. It's always been our thing. We always do puns. So we only have one tier list, but G sat down and came up with this one, and it's a really cool one. Since Triple H has been taking on his era, and we all know he loves a good faction, so we sat down and grabbed the majority of the factions that are across WWE currently, and we're going to rank them in highest of tiers, ones we think are arguably some of the best, and ones that could do a lot better, or maybe a breakup angle of them not really being a group would benefit them more.
Do you know how?
Oh, just go away.
Do you know how I know I'm not with it this week? I don't even have my Pepsi with me.
No, man. Man.
Do you want to run and grab it?
No, I'm all right.
Is it even a podcast without Pepsi?
I know, right?
Literally.
I already drank mine.
It's because Courtney's not here. That's what it is. I miss Court.
So, yeah, let me show you what list we've got. Let me put it in presenting mode, so that way you guys can actually...
There's one faction that better be on here, Ross, that you better not have missed out.
I made it, so...
So, there is S tier, top tier, push them to the moon because they are arguably the best. I think I spelled it. No, I did spell tier right. A tier, really enjoyable, like consistently could watch them, enjoying a lot of the work. B, has the potential to do a lot of good things, but they're not really there, or they're just about. C, booking them has kind of failed them. They've had some really good moments, or they've shined, or people are interested in them, but the booking has failed them. And then D, a breakup angle might help more. So in a conflict of the group might actually benefit them than staying as a group.
Okay.
Or they're just not as good as a group. So maybe being separate is better.
Crap,
So,
basically.
yeah, they fall flat and they should just go solo, basically. So
Yeah.
we have Alpha Academy.
Let's just go through them one at a time. We don't need to, like...
Yeah. We have Alpha Academy starting.
What are you doing at the moment?
It's difficult with Alpha Academy because like they're in a bit of a transitional period, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because I really think that the Wyatt Six has got in the way of the actual storyline that they was about to tell with American Made and the Alpha Academy. So they're kind of just floating at the minute.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think...
Has potential.
Yeah, I think they still have potential because they are a fun comedic group as well. Like, they're the more comedy side of what Chad Gable was trying to now go away from. So
I would say they've got potential to come back and be something, but like you said, they're in that weird period at the moment where they're not sure if they're coming or going.
would we say booking is failing them? Because then, as Reese said, though, they were.
I would.
Yeah, because they were about to have a really good storyline with American Made, and then they got sidelined for Wyatt.
Okay.
I mean, because a couple of weeks ago we was all talking about that mint match that we were all hoping to have between Otis and Chad.
Yeah.
And it never happened because of the Wyatts, like, just came out of nowhere and started attacking Gable.
I'm not complaining though.
So we go to now the flip side, American Made. I am really enjoying them, but I want to know what you guys are saying. I'm okay on an A.
I'm not the biggest Chad Gable fan as it is.
Okay.
So this is difficult, right? Because I feel like in the way that American Made have been booked, I think in a different way, they're exactly the same as the Alpha Academy. I really think booking has failed them because you have got a mint faction there of the Creeds, Ivy Nile, and Chad Gable, who are essentially just getting used as cannon fodder for the Wyatts, and
Yeah.
it's a new group, and you want to start them off on good footing, and they've really not been used very well, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, after this whole Wyatt thing has like disappeared, like after this feud has ended,
Yeah,
they
they've got.
have potential.
yeah, 100%. They could be like a big thing on Raw.
I'd say B then, because like we've already saw when they were diamond mined the other three. Chad Gable just amplifies them.
Yeah, of course.
And as you said, I think just now the Wyatt storyline, I think we're all more captivated on the Wyatt side, and that's getting more the bigger push just because of that storyline. Don't get me wrong, I love American Made. I think they're going to be a very cool group. And yeah, I just want to see where they go after the Wyatt storyline. But it's difficult for the Wyatt storyline as well, because there aren't many solid factions in Raw that they could go against that wasn't Alpha Academy or American Made, in my opinion, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
So now we have the new bloodline. Boo, 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 boo.
So
it's S tier. Push them to the fucking
moon.
I'm
putting mine in before Reese puts his in because he won't. So yes, I enjoyed the bloodline when they started out, the new bloodline. Now they are becoming repetitive every week, and it's just dropping down a little bit.
So for me, the bloodline at the moment is one of those factions where people are not liking him for the right reasons. Now, the reason why they're not liking him is because everyone's like, "We want Roman." We even heard that on NXT, people chanting, "We want Roman." So, in a way, they're doing the job.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's repetitive. It's Solo not fitting the role as the tribal chief, but that's the point. Like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of the point. Like, for you to want Roman more, you make Solo this obnoxious, annoying stand-in for Roman.
I feel like. Go on.
No, go on, carry on.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's gonna be a bigger story coming out here because obviously everything is Solo orientated. Then all of a sudden they've thrown Jacob Fatu up to Cody, and it's just like, what's going on here? Where are they going to turn this? Because it's Solo that wants that opportunity, but they're giving it to Jacob. But they're trying to break the bloodline already.
Jacob didn't take the offer though. He's still aligned with Solo.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
I genuinely think Gorillas of Destiny are going to be the ones to turn. I don't think it's going to be Jacob.
They're not called that in WWE though.
Yeah, I just refer to that as their tag team name.
Then. Yeah.
I don't know what they're referred to as yet because
they're referred to Tongaloa and Tamaha.
I think right.
I love Tamatonga anyway, so I'm biased here. Like, these are my New Japan boys. I've got New Japan on SmackDown.
He's what Chapel Rowan would say is HTOTOGO.
So I'm willing to agree with G on this, like, and put him in A, because we're in a bit of a lull period at the moment where I think we're going to have great things coming at the end of the year, and we're just coming off some great things that have happened with them.
They're not at their peak enough to be S.
Yeah, right now, if we're judging it right now, they're not at the peak.
No.
Right. Chase University.
Oh, S, push them to the moon.
S tier. The best faction.
That one.
I'm glad we all agree. Yeah, no, Chase U. Every time they're on NXT,
they're so enjoyable.
I enjoy them. I loved this week's NXT, having them get completely beat down by Ridge and just seeing Thea Hale like absolutely weeping the fact of like, oh my god, they're like getting beat the living hell out of, and just they showed how much they work as a group and just still click all the time.
Chase, you have been consistently one of the best things about NXT ever since the 2.0 days. And it's mainly down to the charisma of Andre Chase. And then getting a dull, nothing guy like Duke Hudson, whose former gimmick was a stupid poker player, to be over as the MVP, just So good. And then you've got Thea Hale, my favorite women's wrestler in the company right now. I think she's so good. I think she's very underrated.
I think it's incredible.
Super underrated, and I can't wait till Chase U hopefully come up to the main roster, and just everything that's been going on with Chase U, like with Riley, with Ridge. I think it's great, and like the Mafia storyline from last year, that's so good, man. Like everything about Chase U is great. And by the way, Andre Chase, give him credit. He does all of this wrestling, all of this athletic shit
in a
sweater.
Yeah.
In a sweat and slacks in tracks, like not tracksuit or bottoms or anything, in slacks, in pants. How does he do it? I don't understand how he does it. But I know why. Because he's the best dean in university history. That's how he does it.
Yeah.
S tier.
Now we've got the D'Angelo family.
I don't really know much about them, so I'm going to sit back on this one and let the NXT guys.
I'm going to say A.
I'm going to say A too. I think the fact that the D'Angelo family at the minute is growing. I think we're probably going to be seeing another title run from Tony D before before he moves up to the main roster. I think we're going to be seeing that. I love the addition in the past couple of months of Luca Crucifino as like the consigliere. I think
she's been great.
I think that's dope. Rizzo, I think she's improving in the ring every single time she has a match. And Stax is so good. He's very consistent. Like he's a really good singles wrestler and he's a great tag team wrestler. So so Tony D and the Tony D'Angelo family are like up at the top of the list there at A, I think.
Yeah, like as I was saying, like Rizzo's been one that I've been really enjoying, like her added in. I really liked the most recent promo of like Obafemi being like in some cultures like you're seen, not heard. And
I know
she was just like, nah, forget this, I'll swing. And Tony's like, yo, don't talk to her like that, I'll deal with you. I was like,
whoa, hey.
Instantly, because it wasn't even a case of like, oh, she was scared of Oba. She was like, nah, it's on site. Like, I'm like, cool.
Oh, for real?
That built that actual mafia mentality to me, because that was like, cool. You've even got like her standing up for herself, being like, you ain't gonna talk to the family like that. I'm like, that's what we need. And
quick shout out to
with the fishes when it was pretty deadly.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's how they got pretty deadly to the main roster. They faked killing them and putting them in the ocean. Like they threw them in the back of the car and threw them in the ocean. They're like, oh, they're sleeping with the fishes now.
Love that.
And they rocked up to SmackDown.
Nice.
That's how they got rid of Damon Kemp and Drew Gulak as well.
Yeah, that's how they got rid of Drew Gulak as well. Yeah.
Quick shout out to Hammerstone, who got hired by the Tony D'Angelo family this week on NXT. That was cool.
I'm not too happy the match didn't go on longer. I think Obafemi and Hammerstone could have really gone like absolutely mental. And the problem is now you had me last week show Jacob Fatu on NXT, and then the week after I get Hammerstone. I just want them to run it back in a WWE ring because I saw it in MLW. Give it me again.
That happened on the same night. That was the same night.
Yeah, and they didn't have any interaction. Like they
had
beef. Like Hammerstone and Fatu hate each other when it comes to feuds in the ring.
Nice.
I was saying on the review, I could see Hammerstone getting signed to WWE at some point.
Same. In a heartbeat. He has like Hammerstone is the equivalent of TNA's like Wardlow, but actually pushed right.
Yeah.
He's got full package. He's built. He's good.
Great chokeslam.
Oh, incredible one. Now we have the one that annoys me the most.
Yeah.
The descent from greatness, that is Damage Control. We had a great start. We had a middle period, and now we are in the slumps because several of them are injured.
I think they need to break
up. Maybe.
I think they need to break up. I think Io Dakota needs to go solo, and we need the Kabuki Warriors back. The fact that Asuka, Io, and Dakota, they're all injured, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think there is, from the angle they went for after Bayley got kicked out, it's not been great, and they haven't really been in the spotlight. I think Dakota needs to go single, Io needs to go single, and the Kabuki Warriors remain.
I actually am going to put a different spin on this. I think the Kabuki Warriors should go for the NXT women's tags.
They don't exist.
Well, no, go to NXT, spend some time with Julia, also get the women's tag belts so they can go down to NXT and defend them in there because there's more tag teams in there to wrestle with. And I think that could re-establish a new potential leader built of Io leading the whole Joshi faction and Dakota. But I agree Dakota needs to be solo.
Dakota fits in there.
Yeah, she doesn't now.
She is better on her own.
Yeah, I agree on that wholeheartedly. I think Dakota should have been given a solo run. I'm still upset. We've got Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai on the main roster now, and they have not had a singles competition because they had one of the biggest feuds in NXT.
Dakota, they had one of the biggest feuds in NXT.
And they've not. Well, Raquel's also in.
I know, but
I would love to say like break these guys up, but like the only problem is, and this actually just comes down to WWE in general. WWE are not very good at booking Asian talent, like at all. And I feel like with the separation of Damage Control, you've got 4 women there who will be by themselves and not booked correctly. All 4 of those women are amazing.
Yeah.
And it's a shame to see that we have to think about that. So I'm inclined to say booking has failed them because I don't really want them to break up. But I do think they need a fresh start somewhere, like you say.
I think it lands them in sea of booking is failing them because they're all injured as well, and they've not booked injury work with them.
So is it really the booking that's failing them if they're all injured?
No, but that's what I'm saying. They haven't booked anything on TV to establish, they're going to be away from a while due to injury. They've not gave their characters reason. Like
not just the injuries, by the way. Though I think booking has been failing them for a while. I mean,
since the Bailey breakup.
Not even since that. I think before then, like you had Io Sky, who had one of the most least relevant title runs I could think of in a long time. Like she barely defended the belt, and when she did, the matches were mediocre. There was no storylines behind them. So I think the booking's been failing them for a long time before the injuries.
Yeah, no, I get that.
They brought Asuka in for just essentially, hey, we need a War Games person. That was it, really.
What did you do?
I don't know.
So I would say booking has failed them.
Oh no. Oh no.
Also, please change the theme song back to the old one because it's
my internet's played up for a second. Give me 2 seconds.
No problem. So that's I think it's one of those things where you've got a situation here where Damage Control have had problems since SummerSlam. Like not just the actual faction, but like the individuals as well. Like I say, you brought Asuka in the sake of a War Games match, and then you had Io Sky win the championship, and then they did nothing with that person. If that makes sense.
Fine this whole time. Till now.
Yeah.
I can still hear you, by the way, dude.
We're having connection issues. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no problem. I can carry on talking about my problems with Damage Control. I think the problem is as well. Like the whole Bailey breakup was like that was the highlight of Damage Control for a long time, and then I think that just ended, and they didn't give it any time on the way up to WrestleMania. They didn't give it any time on the way up to the actual match. The match was given a decent amount of time, but then afterwards, nothing was really done about it because then Damage Control moved over to Monday Night Raw. Bailey had the championship, but then Bailey, another person with a mediocre title run. And I think that's been the problem with Damage Control for God. It's got to be since its inception, all the way like I've been saying, all the way since last SummerSlam. That's what I would say, 100%. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate because this group had such a unbelievable start. I mean, when are we talking when Damage Control came about? It's got to be about 2 years ago right now, like 2022. Like just after Triple H took control of the booking. I believe it was the Bianca Belair and the Becky Lynch match at SummerSlam. That's when Bayley came back with Dakota Kai and Io Sky, right? I think that's when it was. When she was even called Io Shirai, they had a great introduction, and then they came back like had the tag team championships. Bayley never really got a run with the belt while it was just those three, and then since then it's gone downhill. Like you had the Trish Stratus match, you had mediocre match after mediocre match, and eventually it just takes an effect on everything.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm still talking about Damage Control.
No,
Okay, you carry on.
Yeah, no, we needed you to do that because I don't know what occurred there. Basically, StreamYard decided it didn't recognize what connection I was using. So
no, it's all right, dude. Yeah, it's all right. Whenever I see that happen, I usually just go on a little tangent about what I think about things anyway.
No, it's the biggest clutch you do every time we do a podcast, so we appreciate it. This one I feel like is another one
I don't know too much about.
I think the most input you can have is because JC Jane is in it. It's her variation of like a toxic attraction.
Which isn't right because Gigi isn't in it.
I mean, yeah, but like, what are they doing with Gigi anyway?
She's a queen and she deserves to be champion.
Fatal Influence for me, is I think it's way too soon to say about these guys. I think they've had a decent start. I like who they've got in the group. You got JC Jane, obviously has pedigree with another great faction in terms of Toxic Attraction. Fallon Henley, who was great as a face. Great as a face. I think she's only just turned into a heel. I'm liking what I see so far. And then you got Jasmine Nix, who hasn't proved herself to me yet, but has been consistently quite good in the ring, considering she's an NIL inductee only very recently.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's only recently started. Like she's still quite green, so like fair play that they took her in and was like, yeah, we'll add her to the group. But yeah, for me, like as soon as like Fallon joined them and turned heel, I was like, okay, I'm very much this has potential to be great because like Fallon's been such a babyface for so long, and I've like always enjoyed her as a babyface. So I'm like, yep, give me a heel. I want to see the difference now.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think she's coming clutch quite well for the women's division as of late, Fallon, because
definitely.
But there was a while in NXT where there wasn't that many credible heels in the women's division, and now there's quite a few. But I think Fallon really did a job before she joined Fatal Influence, so he's got potential. So I don't really know where to put this. Like maybe C, because like I say, they've not really had a chance to prove themselves yet. They've been around for like 3 weeks.
That's why I said B because they haven't had much to go on. They've got the potential, and I think they are really good at what they can do as separate individuals. So we just need to let it cook a bit more. And it's not like they've been booked bad. Every situation they have been booked in, they've actually quite shined in the times they've been on TV so far, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with putting it in B, definitely.
Especially the promos. I think the promos they've done, like all three of them just sat together and all being that, like, we are a group of trios that are these bitches that are going to insult everyone. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for that. That's what I like to see.
I'm down for that. Yeah, I'm down to put it in B, definitely.
The easiest one to ever do, Final Testament, booking is failing them. You cannot have such an iconic group with some of the biggest fucking names to return and give them shit.
God, that is the only place to put them because, like, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. It feels like WWE are terrified to flick the switch on the Final Influence and Final Testament, whatever the fuck they're called. Like they have so much potential to be great. Like really, really good. I'm interested, even though booking is failing them. I'm interested in what Karrion Kross has got to say. I'm always interested in the backstage promos because, like, you know, the jump cuts and stuff like that. I think they're interesting. You've got AOP in there. Do we need to say anything else about Akam and Razor? Amazing. Paul Ellering back with the AOP. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Scarlett and Karrion Cross. Like, I don't understand what the missing piece is, but for some reason WWE thinks that there is. So I don't know. Like, booking is just failing them.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And it's like, as like you said, he hasn't really done much. You can't bring back such an iconic mouthpiece and not let
And
him.
he hasn't
talk.
said anything.
Yeah, you've not
Barely anything.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard him talk.
he has a couple of times, but no.
No, she is right though. I think maybe a handful of times in the backstage segments.
Yeah. But yeah,
most of the time you just hear him shouting "No" on the outside when AOP lose.
Yeah. Easiest one in my mind, because it's another NXT one, and I'm biased as fuck.
I don't know much about this.
Gallus.
Gallus are very, very good at doing what they do. They are very consistent. They are very reliable. WWE thinks they're reliable. They were the ones who helped train The Rock when he came back to have his match. Joe Coffey is a very underrated single star. Mark and Wolfgang are very, very good. Are a solid tag team. They're just the three veterans, a bit like Sean Spears at the moment, who are just there to make sure, like the boat keeps on sailing. Like they're really good. They're just great at what they do. I don't see him ever coming up to the main roster just because I think they use just those three veterans down there.
Yeah,
that's fair.
For me, Gallus is the new equivalent of Imperium when Imperium was down there. Like, they had them there for so long, and like WWE relied heavily on them. Same as Undisputed Era. I feel like Gallus have come into that kind of, we are good, we are veterans to the game, but we will look after all the new talent and still provide new storylines. Like, I love the fact Joe Kofi had a beef with Joe Hendrick, like the Battle of the Joes and stuff like that. They had a lot of fun with that and carried on.
That's cool.
The rivalry Gallus has, and I really enjoy Gallus as a faction in general, just because British wrestling and those guys are just great at it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'd be willing to put him in like A or B, definitely.
That's what I've placed them A because like I think they're always really enjoyable, but I think you've already pushed them to their limits. They've been tag champions. The only way you could do it now is if Joe wins a singles title or a big title at some point. That's the only other way I could see you pushing them to the moon. But I don't think they will pull that trigger yet.
Gallus have been doing for a while now what Pete Dunne has been doing for the past couple of weeks. Like just being like a solid hand.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, definitely. I agree where you put them.
New Judgment Day. No, because
I'm quite enjoying them.
I would say it has potential. Like they had a poor opener because of the pay-per-view decision to make Rhea and Jay. Like
I'm still enjoying what they're doing regardless
of that
booking decision.
I think they fixed it though, because Raw this week, where the absolute beatdown happened and Finn put everyone back on notice.
And we've now got the two bad blood matches coming out of it. So I would say they do have potential, but I'm enjoying them more than the potential. So I would put them in A. What are you thinking, Reese?
I'll give you that. I mean, I think they had a bad start because for the past couple of weeks they've literally been made to like look wrong, as in Finn Balor. The first thing Finn Balor said was, "We're stronger now without you, Rhea and Damien," and then proceeds to get beaten by Rhea and Damien at every single point. So I would have said booking is failing them, but Raw they look pretty good, and I'm happy that we're getting the women's championship. It's never been more relevant, in my opinion. People say it's taking a back seat. I completely disagree.
And I still see Finn now pushing his agenda forward. Like Finn felt like the leader when he came out on Raw as well.
Yeah. So I'll put him in. I'll put him in A. Yeah. Okay.
I also like honorable mention the fact of he kind of cooked Damien in that promo.
Yeah, and like if it comes to bad blood and Rhea and Damien win, then they really have been pushed under the bus.
Yeah. I think Finn will win against Damien. Personally.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah.
Well, that's something we can keep for the predictions.
Yeah, for the predictions.
Yeah.
That we do. Legado del Fantasma. I think another one of booking is failing them.
I wouldn't say booking is failing them. The thing that gets me about Legado del Fantasma is we have Santos, who walks around and has the odd match. We have Humberto and Angel, who have fantastic matches all the time. Then we have Elektra, who does absolutely jack shit.
Yeah, they've not pushed Elektra to be good in the ring. Like, she hasn't had women's matches yet. She's actually arguably one of the coolest call-ups they brought back. Like, her in NXT was sick, and I was noticing it.
I would say booking is doing right between the tag team and Santos. Booking is failing Elektra.
Yeah. But I also think booking's failing them because of them repeating a lot of their feuds. It's constantly been, oh, they're going to fight Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Oh, Santos is going to keep going for LA Knight, and now he's not.
Yeah.
And then he is. And oh no, now he's getting sidelined for Andrade.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to just let that happen? But Reese, what do you think?
Right. So I have a very complicated relationship with Legado, right? Because I really want WWE to push these guys as a faction. I think they have a lot of potential. A lot of potential. I think they're essentially the Latino version of the D'Angelo family. I think they're fantastic. However, I don't think WWE have any plans for them. But if you see the people in that faction individually, I think they're unbelievable, and I don't think they need to be in a faction, if you put it that way. You've got Santos there, who could be a main event guy if they decided to push him. You've got Humberto, who's a great high flyer. Put him on Raw, let him do his own thing. You've got Angel Garza there, who has like the charisma to be the next Eddie Guerrero, and I'm not even exaggerating about that. I think he's fantastic. And you've got Elektra Lopez, who, for me, is one of those people who just needs more of a chance. Like, so I don't know. I don't know whether to put them in, break them up. I don't know. I really don't.
Is failing them.
Yeah, like they've got all the potential to do.
I don't want them to break up.
I don't want them to break up because when they rejoined them, and it gave me that spark when they had them all together in NXT, and it was amazing when they had that. I just think they need to re-establish that spark and give them good people to fight against, and not make them feel wasted in that situation.
The only thing that's pulling me is I don't want Angel Garza to be a tag team guy. I really don't. I think he's so good in the ring by himself. I think he's unbelievably charismatic, and I think he's great in the ring. And like I say, he reminds me. He reminds me of Eddie Guerrero in the 2000s so much.
Yeah.
Like, he's so good. Like, please give him something.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
And now,
booking.
I think it's kind of going to be the same situation with this one with LWO. What are we saying for that?
Booking is absolutely failing them.
Like, they've not been booked. I ain't seen them.
I know this sounds harsh, but Ray needs to retire, and Dragon Lee needs to take control of the faction.
Literally, I've been saying this. I said Ray.
There is never going to be a luchador that is going to get pushed or is going to get taken seriously while Rey Mysterio is still there wrestling. It's just not going to happen. It won't happen because Rey Mysterio is literally the face of luchadors. He is the most iconic luchador there has probably ever been, and to have someone next to him like Dragon Lee, it just looks like his mini-me. It looks like his sidekick. And he will always be a sidekick while there is a guy, a more famous man with a mask standing outside the ring cheering him on. Yeah. And that's just the facts. That's just facts. Like Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, great solid tag team. Zelina Vega, great solid female wrestler, unbelievable. Ray just doesn't need to be there anymore.
I heavily agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I literally couldn't say anything more than what you've said there.
Yeah. So I don't know where to put him because of that. Because I don't want him to break up, but I also don't want Ray to be there. And again, I know that sounds harsh, but Ray, I don't need you to be there anymore.
That's why I've put bookings failing them
Bookings
because
failing.
they're not booking them without Ray being around. Like, because Ray's not been there the past couple of weeks. Just book them. I popped when I saw Selena back out doing a match with Lyra. I'm like, at least I see Zelina. At least I see some of LWO. Finally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
They are wanted, and people don't get that they're not wanted on tele. Like that, people want them on telly right now because they're not pushing them to be on telly. I'm like, you've got Dragon Lee, arguably one of my all-time favorite luchadors. Ray, who's a veteran that we all enjoy watching anyway, and Zelina. Anytime you actually give her time on the mic, she is arguably one of the best mic talkers.
Yeah, she's good.
And they just don't push her enough.
No, you're right. You're right.
Like they panic push her. Like look at the stuff she did when it was they went to Backlash where it was in her home of Puerto Rico. They pushed her because it was the hometown of Puerto Rico. But look how good she did with the push she had, especially against someone like Rhea. I was banking on Zelina winning that, and I don't vote against Rhea. Like that's.
I mean, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. The fact that her and Andrade aren't together is just the fact that bookings fail him in general. Like they're both they're both kind of failed because they're not together. Them two are a perfect pairing, but they're not together.
They were your variations.
Yeah, they were so good.
They were literally Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns level. That's how good.
Yeah, they were mint. Yeah, they were great.
They stopped doing it, and I don't get why.
They complemented each other perfectly. But yeah, LWO, like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. Like Ray just needs to retire, and I'm not in any rush for that because he was one of the reasons why I love wrestling. But he is hindering that group. If we're just talking factions and we're talking about LWO, he is hindering that group.
Yeah,
for sure.
So arguably NXT's best ever group, and I don't need to say anything. I want to put him in S. What do you guys say? You could change it.
I don't know much about them. I don't really watch much NXT.
I know. But Metaphor, though, like...
I think the Metaphor are very, very good at the moment. Yeah. I think they've killed it since they've formed.
Yeah.
And I really think not only as... I mean, obviously Noam Dar was always going to kill it. Noam Dar he's great on the microphone. He's good in the ring. There's no arguing that.
Oh, yeah, you can talk about him a bit.
Oh, we love Noam Dar here.
Yeah.
Well, not only has he killed it, he's elevated the other three. Like,
yeah,
Aura Mensa was always great in the ring. Like, always had potential to be great. But he's become so funny on the microphone, and like he has got like a character and a sense of humor. Cara Jackson, the Lash Legend, like they just kind of fit in the Metaphor. I really love that pairing of those two women as a tag team and as like their own characters in the Metaphor. Yeah. I'd put him in S tier. I love the Metaphor.
Good.
Nice. Cool.
Glad we agree on that. Also, Lash having that little solo run that she did for a little bit just made me realise her working with Metaphor really made her shine. Because she
elevated her.
Ring now.
Yeah. And that's what a faction's supposed to do. It's supposed to elevate the people.
No Quarter Catch Crew. I would say A, just because I really enjoyed them because British strong style wrestling, and obviously William Regal's son is one of the main leaders in it. And they are a very interesting heel group, but I feel like they still need a lot of work.
I'm going to say B has potential. And the reason why I'll say that is because, everything that you've just said, I agree with. But what they've been doing lately, where they've also transitioned into the fact that they've been trying to give the members a bit of a funny side, a bit of character, I'm really enjoying. I love the addition of Ren Sinclair. I think she's really come out of a shell. She's been given time on the microphone. I think she's very funny and she suits that group very well. Like she's a very good juxtaposition in comparison to Charlie Dempsey, who's the serious guy who's trying to be Tony D'Angelo. Very funny.
Have you saw what they did with Charlie D'Angelo as not? I said both names together. Have you saw what they've started implementing with Charlie Dempsey as well? They've played into his slight deafness. She was doing.
Oh, Miles. Are you on about Miles?
Yeah, sorry, Miles. Yeah, they started doing like actually
Yeah.
implementing that he's deaf and started doing like I think
Sign
it was sign language with it. Yeah.
that's what it's called.
It's very funny, and I love the fact where like the Ren walked up to Gallus and told him to like calm down and be a bit more quiet because Miles has sensitive ears. Or when
Yeah.
Miles isn't paying attention, and Charlie goes, Miles.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. He's like, he's great. He's so good. Like I am, like I said, I'm loving like the character development. I love the strong style of wrestling that they're doing. I love the addition of Ren. Like, it has potential. I hope they end up coming up to the main roster. And by the way, Tavian Heights,
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
power
say
slam, that power slam that he did on the outside of the ring in that match on Wednesday, great, really good. Loved
Also,
it. Tavian Heights.
also massive shout out to him because he went to Noah and did the whole N1 tournament and did absolutely amazing. Like Noah praised the hell out of him, said like this guy's picked up our style of Japan wrestling so fast.
Nice.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's amazing because he's very new to this as well.
Yeah, he's very new on it and he's on it. He's enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
Out of Mud, another NXT one. For me, they're all right.
I don't know much about.
They've got like that weird GTA kind of like intro gimmick, and it's like it's cool. I feel like they're kind of not really focusing them as a group. They're more focusing just Jada Parker now.
Yeah. When it comes to
that,
sorry, go on.
I'd say a B is where I'm sitting for them.
So Bronco Nima, Lucian Price as a tag team, a lot of potential. Jada Parker for me is levels above them, but that's not their fault. Just because she's been given more opportunities than those two. So it's a weird group to call this because you've got one member who's like circling the main event scene, and you've got the other two members who haven't had a tag team match in about 2 months. So it's odd, and I don't understand, but because it's not like they're planning on getting rid of him, I don't think, because they appear on NXT a lot, but just in backstage segments. I don't get what's going on with them.
They keep doing them like how Private Party was treated in early AEW days, where it was like you'd see them tag a couple of times, but they would have more backstage interactions and doing more comedy bits. So I don't know. That's like they're the gap filler guys. We can give them a segment backstage and we know they'll do a good job. But yeah, it just feels weird that they're not focusing them doing efficient tag matches and things like that because they are good in the ring. They're just not making them show that.
Yeah, they're just a bit green, but like when you see them, like you can see the improvement. I think Jada drags them up to a B.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, we'll stick with the B. 1G's forte now because we're back on Raw. The Pure Fusion collection or collection
is absolutely destroying them.
I know there's no man in this arena that could take us home, and there's no woman in this arena that could kick our ass. I'm like, okay, weird statement, Sonia.
Yeah,
it's just not it.
I don't like the name either. I get that they're trying to say it's like a pure blend of like fusion wrestling of submission, hard hitting, and like martial art background between all three of them. But like, it ain't cheap.
It's not it.
It's not it.
No, you're right. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work.
Some like Power Rangers group. I'm not even fronting the name literally of what Pure Fusion Collection. Sorry, that sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh set that you would buy a booster box from, and that would be their name.
Yeah,
like it sounds like a clan on Call of Duty.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like a clan on or a crew on GTA 5 when you first fucking set it up.
Yeah. Like when you're doing your GTA RP and you've got like your gang. That's what your gang is.
The COD tag is like TPFC.
Yeah.
You know the little 4 letters.
Honestly, I swear to God, but I had a faction or a gang in GTA 5 when I first made it, and we called it Midnight Overdrive, and that sounds just as bad as PFC.
It does, yeah.
What does that sound like a video game though? I swear there was like a racing game series called Midnight something.
Midnight Club, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all I thought of when you said Midnight Overdrive. I think I put some like Burnout Overdrive and then Midnight together and did that. But yeah, it's just they're good. They're so good in the ring.
All three of them.
Shayna can talk
I
on
was
the
like-
mic as well.
So excited for Sonya's return, and then they did this.
It just
I agree.
and it's like you've built these trios. I get them as trios. Book them as a trio then. Give them more opponents. Damage control. Perfect way to go against them. Freaking Jade, Bianca, and Naomi, the big three. Go against them.
The Unholy Union and Blair Davenport.
Blair Davenport.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, if you're going to do these trio groups, forget the draft side of it. Just book them in trios matches against other trios.
Yeah.
Like, you
Even do a tournament. Do a tournament like you did with the Mixed Match Challenge. That'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, actually put them in scenarios where it works for them. Like, it's difficult to enjoy them if you're not going to represent them how they're meant to be.
Yeah. I'm down for that. So where are you thinking of putting them?
Booking's fine.
Yeah, I said C.
Okay.
Keep them there just because I don't want them to break up because it's still early doors, but I really think they've not been represented on the situations that they've already been given. Like, their presentation has not been it. And
I'll agree with that.
Their fault. I just think they've not, as I said, you're booking a trio to not have trio opponents.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And last but not least, arguably one of the biggest factions to come out and doing some of the most coolest different ways of being in the ring, the Wyatt Six. Or do we call them Six?
It's 6.
Yeah. It's sick, but it's pronounced
It's
like
pronounced
six.
six.
Yeah.
Yeah.
G,
I'm not-
like you're the best person to talk about this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I love everything they're doing right now. I can't fault this faction one little bit. Bo Dallas's promos, the way they come out, their aura, their entrance, the way they fight. Nikki Cross literally picked up Chad Gable and threw him, suplexed him over her freaking shoulders.
Beautiful German suplex as well.
It was
So
beautiful.
good.
Like, I can't fault anything they're doing right now. Like I said, their promos are great, their aura's great, their wrestling is great, and each one of them has like a different strength. Where, like, as we see, like Joe Gacy and Nikki are quite confident and strong in the ring, whereas I was going to say Bray then. Oh my god, Bo Dallas is giving us like the great promos. They're all their strengths are making the faction what it is.
Yeah,
and I really like that, and I really am enjoying everything they're doing.
I do love the presentation. I love the fact that the promos are actually taped on a VHS as well. You can tell because of the quality.
That's sick.
It adds to the aura of the group.
Yeah, it does. I can't fault them either. It's been, in comparison, because I've been a very big critic, for better or worse, of Bray's latter run before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison to when Bray came back to what they're doing now with the Wyatt Six, it's night and day. Like, the Wyatt Six are so much better. Bray came back and he pretty much said the same promo 15 times in a row and then wrestled LA Knight.
I think Bray's promos doing this, I think eventually it was going to lead to this anyway, but we've just got this without Bray now.
Yeah, and they've kind of like, and they've gave the promos like the like how you said, like Bray said the 15 promos. I think we got that in a different way. We're doing this whole, we're going to take you on a journey to make you pick up all the clues, like the Twitch streams, all of that.
It's exciting.
They felt like they didn't need to do those promos because they've now resold us on the group, and Bray already kind of laid the foundation. So they just we're going to take this, we're going to amplify it and give it you guys quicker. Don't get me wrong, I think a lot of people were harsh critics with it as well because they were like, oh, but they've not even fought in the ring yet. How are they going to fight with the masks and stuff? Give them a chance, and look what the street fight did. It showed. Give them a chance, they will shine, and they absolutely did in my eyes.
I said that way back as well. I was a big critic of Bray but I'm open to giving these guys a chance. Like, there's no point in like shutting yourself down before you've even seen anything. Like, there's no point in that. So yeah, I agree. I think I've really enjoyed what they've been doing. Like longevity wise, only time will tell, because like with spooky people, like there's only so many spooky things you can do and see. But it's too early to say. So I'm like, for now, I'm really enjoying everything they do. So I'll put them in S, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was going to say A. I wasn't going to say S.
No,
I'll take the S.
I was going to say, if that's me and Reese agreeing on an S, that's
well,
a free
I would have
F
said
for
A,
you.
but yeah, no, that's fine. I just think the next step for these guys is to get them on a pay-per-view or a PLE.
Oh, yeah.
Get them on a PLE, get them to outshine themselves, get them to show in front of a big crowd.
In the big
really push them in that pay-per-view match. Give them a good looking.
I agree. Like, and the reason why I am saying S is as well, like this whole tier list is based on how well they're being booked, how well they're being presented, and you just said it yourself. Like, I can't give no faults whatsoever in this. I think they've done great. So
yeah,
I have downloaded the image so that way we can post it on our socials to say our tier list. But now we get to go into the really fun segment of G has saved questions that you guys in the audience and whoever is watching live, or whoever watches it back, maybe your questions were answered and you just couldn't catch it in the live stream. We'll try and get as many of these as we can. But yeah, we thought we'd slap in a little bit of a Q&A just because we knew the tier list was going to be a little bit shorter. And yeah, we just wanted to give back to you guys. We noticed that we hit a really big goal of now having up 400 subscribers. I think we now are on.
Mm-hmm.
420, baby. But 420, blaze it up, fam.
Yeah,
let's go.
We are on the RBG numbers.
Frog splash right into the 400s.
Bro.
Bro, I'm looking forward to these. I'm looking forward to it.
Questions then.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Oh. Yeah, there we go. Load it back in.
So, first question, we're going to go for an easy one. Favorite wrestler of all time? We'll just go in order because it's just easy.
Okay. So, my favorite wrestler of all time is Jushin Thunder Liger from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I grew up watching his matches, really young WCW, watching the across promotions that they did. And then, yeah, I just found New Japan Wrestling and always found him one of the coolest wrestlers. Dude wrestles in a full like Power Rangers looking suit as well. Like, you know how Reese said about someone wrestling in a sweatshirt? This guy wrestles in like a all-in-one super suit, and the mask is ridiculous every time.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Oh, unbelievable. Like, yeah, I agree with that. Like, Jushin Liger was phenomenal.
Yeah. And also Liger Bomb. Like,
first fun fact, first NXT match I ever saw was Jushin Liger versus Tyler Breeze.
Yay! I'm glad that was your first ever one. That's so cool.
Made me fall in love with NXT immediately.
Yeah.
So good. Very, very good. Mike, is it UG next?
Yeah, well, you can go. I don't mind going last. I don't mind.
No, go on. Oh, but by all means, you go.
Okay, so for a lot of people, like these guys know, but I didn't start watching wrestling until 2018. I was very, 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 very late to the scene, but better late than never. And one of the first wrestlers I fell in love with was, of course, Becky Lynch, and she will also always be my favorite of all time. You know, she got me into wrestling, she kept me there, and I love her so much.
That's fair. Well, that's a very fair choice, to be honest.
WrestleMania 35, that was.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah. I always remember we have this conversation. You arguably got into one of her biggest like push to the moon moments because she wasn't getting pushed great until like she had that moment with Nia and turned into the man.
Nose,
yeah. So you really did hit like the peak of where she got pushed.
Mm-hmm.
That was unbelievable. Like, you look back at that image of where a blood is just plastered across her face, and who could have predicted that would be the start of where she is now? Like that, just a random Survivor Series build-up segment where Raw was fighting SmackDown produced probably the most famous female and one of the most famous wrestling characters ever. It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Unbelievable.
And I also think it's really weird not having her in a wrestling scenario now, because when you say like for me, personally, if you say WWE and you try and explain a few wrestlers there, everyone's go-to explanation is Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Like, there's a whole generation of fans that will, like UG, be like would have been introduced around the time of the man. So that she's probably on a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna name some honorable mentions first, because whenever I think about who my favorite wrestler of all time is, it's these four people who always come into my mind. And guess what? None of them are Roman Reigns.
They're all Roman Reigns.
None of them are Roman Reigns. None of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but Reese, are they all in the same faction?
No. They're not the Undisputed Era. No.
Really got ya.
Kyle O'Reilly. No, I'm joking.
O'Reilly, Roderick.
Yeah. So honorable mentions: Randy Orton. Unbelievable. I've never seen a Randy Orton match that I haven't enjoyed in some capacity or a storyline. Next one, Kurt Angle, one of the greatest in-ring performers of all time. Like, again, I don't think I've ever seen a bad Kurt Angle match.
I still watch Kurt Angle matches and like see new things every time, and like this dude just yeah.
100%, 100%. Final honorable mention: The Undertaker.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do I really need to explain why The Undertaker is an honorable mention? No. But my favorite wrestler of all time is a person who has had amazing, not just good, unbelievable matches with all three of these people, and has countless classics. And he had two, not just one, but two unbelievable runs in his career. And it is none other than Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is, in my opinion, he is not only had an amazing 90s run when he was the guy up until like 1998. He also then came back from a back injury and then had 8 more years of just phenomenal matches with your new crop of talent like Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 21, like every single match with Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Undertaker, WrestleMania 25, my favorite WrestleMania match of all time, probably my favorite wrestling match of all time. Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler ever.
He's great.
Do you want to know what got Shawn Michaels in my top 5 as well? There is
Go
one
on.
specific promo where they were back in Quebec, Canada, and he has this whole promo. They play Brett's music, and he stands there waiting in shock, and the whole crowd erupts to him as a smug heel just turned around and went, "Got your hopes up just a little bit."
Just a little bit there.
The crowd literally erupt, being like, "Fuck you, we hate you." Like
Wow.
they nearly got Shawn Michaels kicked out the building because they were throwing stuff in the ring.
Yeah.
They were getting
Who's your daddy, Montreal?
That was one of the best promos I've ever seen a heel do. Like, I still watch that back and I'm like, that is how you be a heel. It's so good.
Just a quick shout out to something else that he did as well. I love Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid's best match was probably with Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship. He was so good at doing. He could have a 5-star match with a broomstick. Like, his matches with Bret Hart, Psycho Sid, The Undertaker, Vader, back in the 90s was mint. And like I said, when he came back in the 2000s, he had a whole nother run with with the match with Cena at WrestleMania 23. And that was the time where everyone thought Cena couldn't wrestle. Shawn Michaels brought him to an amazing match. Like, come on. Do you know? So, yeah. Next question. Sorry, I went on a bit there.
Okay. Right, we have one from Keaton next. If you could choose one match from the past to sit ringside at, what match would you choose?
I've got 2.
I said it to him in person, and yet I still feel like I want to half change my answer, but I'm not. I'm going to stick with what I told him.
Go on, Reece, you go then.
Oh, no, go on, Ross. What was you going to say? Go on, go on. Say it.
So I said to him when he first asked this question, I said to him, you need to put that in our questions because that is an amazing one.
Yeah.
And I turned around and said to him, I don't think I could not go and see Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay in Wrestle Kingdom, like ringside, because him coming out as Sephiroth, like Kenny is my all-time favorite, and he came out as one of my all-time favorite video game villains. Those guys went to war, and I could not have, if I had that opportunity to sit ringside, that would have to be it.
Fair enough.
That is fair.
Reese?
This is so difficult. It's so difficult because I really want to say Steamboat Savage at WrestleMania 3. I really want to say that.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
But it's got to be Michaels versus Taker at WrestleMania 25. It's my favorite match of all time. That match is unbelievable. If you have never seen that match, go and watch it.
I was going to say, that's definitely up there. That's a huge one.
It's so good.
Working out
both guys in their prime, just absolutely stole that show. They stole the show so much that the main event was, the crowd was dead for it because they were exhausted cheering for this match. Like, literally.
So another one that would be my honourable mention, Fiend Bray Wyatt, that strap match. I can't remember what PLE it was.
Oh, yeah.
But the strap match them two had.
Oh, I know it. Oh, yeah, I know what you're on about.
Because that was,
I can't remember.
I know. I know what I'm going to.
Because that's, for me, that was arguably the Fiend's coolest like feud, where it was like it really played into Bryan and really made Bryan have to reestablish everything he had to do as a wrestler.
That was a good match. That was a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my two. But yeah. What's your one?
I would any Bray Wyatt match, man. The chance to go and see that guy live would be, But I'm gonna go for the Elimination Chamber match where Bray Wyatt won the Universal title.
For the first time when he was.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd be a really nice thing to go to.
Ringside to see the crowd, experience it as it was.
That was the when he had the cult of the Wyatt, wasn't it?
Yeah,
where
it was
Wyatt
family, wasn't it?
Wyatt families, yeah.
If I want to be a sick bastard, I'd say I want to be at ringside to see Mankind get thrown off the top of the cell.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, that would be sick to be honest. Yeah, it was. It was Elimination Chamber 2017 or 2016 for that Bray Wyatt win. I think it was around that.
It was 2017. Yeah, I remember it. WrestleMania.
Reese is our like encyclopedia. You give him a pay-per-view and what person won, he'd probably still remember or land it. I remember it wasn't your whole thing. You literally listed every WrestleMania to us, like who won every WrestleMania.
Did, yeah.
I think I did, yeah. It's something like that.
You said every main heavyweight champion who won that at Mania. That was crazy.
Something like that, yeah. I'm pretty sure I did, yeah.
Okay. Favorite wrestler you've seen live?
Oh,
I've seen live. Oh, that's so hard though, because like
I know I can go first if you want.
Please do.
Okay. You all think I'm going to say Becky Lynch, but it's not Becky Lynch. I'm going to go with Randy Orton because as much as Randy Orton is a tough, hard knock on WWE TV, when he's at the tour shows, he literally lets loose and has fun. And I tell you what, watching him and Matt Riddle have a 4-way tag match, and they're literally just joking around with the ref and doing silly little moves, jumping over the ropes, watching him with a big smile on his face. It's so different to see, and I really, really enjoyed that. And I really think Randy is such an entertainer. He really looks for the kids as well. So I'm going to say Randy's probably one of my favourite that I've seen live.
I love that answer
Yeah.
because he's there for me as well. But Ross, go on. Have you got yours?
No, I'm still thinking. There's so many good that I've seen because I've gone WWE, New Japan, and AEW, so it's hard to just narrow down my favorites because I have one from each promotions, which sucks because I'm trying to be like, ugh.
So, this is such a cop out, right? But I went to a Raw in 2006, and I'm just going to name the people at that, and then I'll give my answer at the end. But I'm just going to name the people who I got to see on this Raw have a match. Okay, so in one night, I got to see DX, which is Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
I got to see Umaga versus John Cena.
Oh, so good.
I got to see Jeff Hardy versus John Morrison for the IC title. I got to see Lita versus Mickey James.
Okay, he wins. He wins. Just hand it over.
But that's not even the best part, dude. I had the absolute privilege to see a tag team match. It was rated RKO, which was Edge and Randy Orton, versus, that's not even the best bit, versus Roddy Piper
Nice.
and Ric Flair.
Nice.
What? That's great. Okay.
It's crazy to think how many of those names are not in WWE now.
Yeah.
Dude, that was one Monday Night Raw. Do you know what preceded that before we went on air? Do you know what they taped before that episode of Raw?
No. What?
An episode of ECW where I got to see Sabu test the Sandman and Bobby Lashley.
Nice.
Well, there we go then. Yeah.
That night was unbelievable. I got to see everybody, but yeah, I got to shake Ric Flair's hand and JR's hand on the same night. Absolute privilege.
Okay, so I think I narrowed it down. So I got two honorable mentions. Malachi Black, because he's always been a favorite of mine. I finally got to see him live this year at All In, so that's insane. But I have to say Zack Sabre Jr. I've seen him live. And he does not miss a beat. He is the submission master. He's so damn good in the ring. He's just entertaining. And I've seen him have banger match. I seen him go against Will Ospreay. That was just absolutely incredible. And then I've seen him at All In as well, where I got to see him go and do bits once again in a multi-man match. He's just too good. He's just
dude. I can imagine. I'm not gonna lie. That's awesome. Quick little shout out. I was there the night AJ Styles beat Jinder for the WWE Championship.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I was there for that.
The other huge one I'd say is FTR, because I saw FTR defend the belts the first ever time outside of Japan and the US.
Oh, wait.
So
really?
It came to your mind, so yeah.
I've seen Joe Hendry live as well.
Yes, you have. We saw Joe Hendry. Shit, I didn't even put TNA
so have I. I've seen Joe Hendry live as well. I saw him when he was local hero Joe Hendry at What Culture.
I didn't even put freaking TNA into mind that we went and saw TNA. I've literally seen every promotion I watch now other than Noah.
I've seen Grado live.
Yeah, we saw
Grado. Grado, yes, Grado.
That's a fabulous experience.
I bet. Wait, haven't you seen Gorillas of Destiny, Ross?
Yes, I saw Gorillas of Destiny. I saw the whole crew.
There you go.
Aussie Open. Do you know how hard this is for me to narrow it? I saw Okada and I didn't say Okada.
Okay, let's move on then.
My definitive answer is Ric Flair, by the way. I'm just going to say Ric Flair.
My definitive answer has to be Zack Sabre Jr. because I've loved watching every single time I've seen him.
Okay, I've got a couple more questions and then we'll call it there. So, leading on from that one, a wrestler you haven't seen live that you want to see live.
Kenny Omega.
Okay.
I didn't skip
it. That was an easy one.
Haven't skipped a beat on that.
How quick was that? Jesus. A wrestler that I've not seen live that I would like to see live. That's a really good question.
It is. It really gets you thinking.
It's probably Steve Austin.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Valid. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that's fair for me as well. Yeah.
Stone Cold, yeah, for real. Honestly.
There's so many that haven't been over here that I would like to see live. Obviously, the major one will never happen now, but
Yeah, no, well, we know that.
You'll see his bro.
I'm gonna say Paige. Soraya. I've never seen Soraya live, and I really would like to.
Yeah, we need to.
Okay.
Go, we need
Yeah.
to. We need to
Who's
go
that
to.
Soraya? She's my bestie.
We need to go to Fightmare when
Yeah.
they do that again because she keeps doing those.
She is doing it.
Yeah,
She's fighting her mom.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Yeah, that's that's
We
When
can't-
we're in Spain.
I was gonna say we can't do it because we're in Spain. That's the only.
John
reason.
and Courtney are going.
I know she's got really bad timing, that woman. I tell ya.
I know it's her fault. Stupid Soraya.
Right. Next one, and then I've got one more to finish on. So the next one is your favorite referee.
Oh.
Favorite referee? Okay.
But I like it. Let me answer Paul's before he answers in the comments.
Yeah,
Ref Jess.
that we know.
Yeah.
I'm probably Audrey Edwards from AEW. I really enjoy her. I think she's really fun. But honorable mention would be Red Shoes in New Japan. That's a running joke for anyone who watches New Japan. It's Shota Umino's dad, who's been a referee for years, and he always wears red shoes to every pay-per-view.
He does.
He does. So he gets called Red Shoes. And he's funny as hell. He's like
Nice.
one of the funniest ones.
Close second, Earl Hebner. Part of every single iconic Attitude Era moment. But it's got to be Charles Robinson, man. Little Nate. It's got to be Little Nate. But I'm gonna have to go with Charles Robinson.
What you're gonna do, and it's not fair.
I'm going to do it. But I just thought of somebody for wrestler that I want to see live that I should have said that I didn't say.
Go on.
CM Punk.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
CM Punk. Mr. Phil.
If it's my turn to do ref, I'm saying
Yeah.
Seth, and you've got no choice.
See, I knew she was gonna do that when her cogs worked. I knew she was gonna go a guest referee route and go, "Oh, Seth."
Oh, for God's sake! Right, fine.
He was so good.
He was all right.
Have we got any Instagram ones that
I've
you've
got-
got stuff on?
One more question to finish off on.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Ready?
I'm ready.
Debut this year.
Oh, oh. There's a lot.
Yeah. I know
David-
why.
Favorite debut.
Ethan Page in
No, anyone?
NXT is huge. No, I'm literally just like.
I can say mine if you want.
Yeah, go on.
Mine's the Wyatt Six.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, you can't really argue with that, to be honest. No, you can't at all. No. I'm gonna go Joe Hendry in NXT.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
It's great to see. Quick shout out to I know he was only in the Battle Royal, but Frankie Kazarian was in NXT as well.
Wow.
But yeah.
My boss's cogs are like turning.
Mm.
I loved Jordan Grace and Sol Rucas match
Yes.
on NXT this week.
Yes, it was really good. Speaking of Jordan Grace, her debut in the Royal Rumble, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. There is so much this year that has happened. Like Jordan Grace, freaking Julia is now in NXT. Ethan Page,
WWE on it.
Sean Spears is in freaking
Jacob Fatu.
Jacob
I'm gonna have to go Tamatonga.
Say his
Yeah.
name. Tam-
Did he have the best debut out of all three of them? That's a hard question. Do you think?
No, Fatu did.
Right. Okay.
The only reason why I say it's my favorite debut is because G was like, "Who was that?"
Yeah, I literally went, "Who's that?"
And as soon as I saw the hooded figure and I saw how he landed in and punched, I was like, I know straight away who it is because that is one of his iconic beatdowns when he was in Bullet Club. And then as soon as the hood dropped down and I saw his face, I'm like, yep, cool, Tamatonga. I hyped. I think that's the most reaction you've ever got when we've
it's
done.
You see-
on the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I was gonna say that's the most hype you've probably seen.
Me and Courtney both went, "Who?" And Ross was just like,
The only
You see,
other-
this is what I'm saying. Like, I did enjoy Jacob Fatu's debut, But I would argue that Tama Tonga's was more impactful just because he was the first one to come over. And he attacked Jimmy, sorry, and like he brought the hood down. I was like, no fucking way, it's Tama Tonga. That I was so gassed it was Tama Tonga.
Legit, it was so dope. And I think that's there's so many good debuts though, because like my most recent one being Julia, I loved her match. She's just incredible. Like I could go on for ages about that. Ethan Page debuting and now being NXT champion.
Only pick one.
Yes, you can.
Those are honorable mentions, but like, if we sat down and looked at every debut this year, we would literally.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Coming in the upcoming months, we are going to rank every debut from.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I like that idea. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I love
right.
that.
So just for the record, Ross, what's your definitive answer?
Definitive answer has to be Tama Tonga.
Okay, G, what's yours? You say the Wyatts, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I am going to go with Joe Hendry on NXT. I was very hyped. I thought it was very cool.
If we're going to talk AEW, though, I have to say Ricochet.
Oh, definitive, Ross.
Definitive.
Fine, still Tama Tonga. Even though...
God, make your mind up.
Like...
Right,
I know it's difficult.
Time for you to wrap up.
Right, okay, no worries. Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys, for the tier list and your questions. Send more in. We'll probably do another episode of this. Thanks to everyone who sent in the questions. Make sure you follow the... What was that?
I was saying thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you on their behalf and my behalf as well. Make sure you like the channel, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more videos. Make sure you stay tuned. For the SmackDown review that's coming from Courtney, go check out the NXT review from me from yesterday and from Courtney, getting a double header from Courtney this week because she also did the Raw review. It was a very interesting episode of Raw. Go check out on X /Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Outcasted OC. We upload videos there, so make sure you go show us some love. Thank you for all the subscribers, 421 and counting. We're growing faster than, I don't know, something that grows fast in wrestling. Anyway, I hope you had an absolutely amazing day. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Peace out, guys.
Bye, everyone. When it loads.
When it loads, when it goes.